Hi, Jorge.
Hey, how are you?
Excellent. You're talking to me from Norway?
I'm in Norway right now, in Oslo actually. I'm here on the balcony. Really nice weather for the meantime.
Beautiful. But you're from Mexico.
Yeah, I'm Mexican. Yeah,
Right. And we're talking because you want to set up a project in rural Michoacan, which is the same state that I live in. I'm from the United
yeah,
States, but
exactly.
I
In
moved
fact,
here.
yeah,
And
in fact,
so,
well, we don't live far apart. I live like 35 minutes from Zamora.
yeah, that's fantastic. And I love to see more people starting projects here in Michoacan. I just love Michoacan. It's a great place.
Yeah, definitely. I'm all up for it.
Great. So what's your vision?
No, I like to start actually an eco village
Hmm.
and start out like small. You know, have like some land property
Hmm.
and start small in the beginning. I have a place where we can actually start a nursery and then to graze cattle, basically. And I like to see if I could get rentals from the landlords
Hmm.
of the homes. You see, like there's homes that been abandoned for quite a while. The owners left to the states, basically.
Hmm.
And I like to see if I can become, their broker in a way,
Right.
and use the revenue to pay like our eco village, to fund the eco village, and give one third to the community basically, and one third to the owner. That's my plan basically.
Yeah. Where I live, the same thing happens where a lot of people go up to the United States to work, and all these really nice homes are just empty.
Yeah, it's sad. It's very sad. I mean, it's heartbreaking to see like beautiful homes that somebody can live on them, and they're just completely empty. And this like they're ghost towns all over the place. And it's sad because
Yeah.
the weather's fabulous.
So this is an underutilized resource that if you were to manage these properties, you could host people to come in and they would rent it, and then you can use
Yeah,
that to kind of jumpstart your eco village.
exactly. We can start off basically by just land, or basically have another option. We can buy maybe a property. If we get like 10 people, we can buy a small property and
Right.
start off like that, or either by land property. We have those two options basically.
Yeah. Well, I love the idea that you can offer that because there's a lot of people in colder places, like up in the north of the United States or in Norway, who would love to escape there for a while, and they would also like to explore Mexico. And there's so much great culture here, but they don't always know how to do it, you know. And so you could broker that.
Yeah, there's a media hike about basically Mexico, but every time I go there, I look around and I go, where's whatever they're saying is happening? And in fact, I was there for 3 weeks and I didn't really want to get out of there. I was like, I like to stay. So
Yeah.
therefore, I like to build up a project because it gets pretty boring if you're by yourself. But if you build like a community, like-minded community, it becomes really vibrant.
Yeah, I've been here since 2004, and it's been really wonderful for me. I've enjoyed it greatly. There are places where most of the retirees from the United States go to. Ajijic is one, San Miguel de Allende, and those are really great, but they're more expensive, and you're mainly hanging out with people, with other foreigners. So I love the idea that you can
Exactly.
invite people
It's
to
not
like
it's not the
little
real
towns.
mingle of locals and foreigners. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so like where I live, there's some foreigners and they're from all over the world, but there's maybe, I don't know, under 100 out of a town of about 3,500 people.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Same
I live
old.
in real Mexico, you know?
Exactly. 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 Yeah. Pretty much that's the matter. The places, I guess we have a similar climate when it comes to your location and my location.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much the same, which means it's never really too hot because when it would be too hot in the summer, then the rains come. And it never really gets that cold in the winter. I mean, nighttime is a little chilly, but I live very rustic. I live off the grid. I'm way out there, you know. So if you have a semi decent house, then you're very comfortable. Certainly by comparison to somewhere like Chicago or Oslo.
Yeah, exactly. Especially here, it snows like for like 5, 6 months. Like
Oh,
6 4. Let's say it depends, but from 4 to 6 months here.
wow.
So it
I've only
becomes like
seen,
really devastating. People don't get out of their homes, and it's like snowing. It gets like pretty depressed. So I like to see if I can help these people that are able to have an option, and provide them a safe environment over there, and actually invite them over to.
yeah, I'm from the Seattle area, and the first time I came to Mexico was in the year 2000, and it was in the winter. And it just really hit me that, up in Seattle, it's all this drizzle and just depressing gray. It's kind of like London weather. And
Yeah,
down
yeah,
here, everybody's out in the sun having a good time. So that's what got
exactly.
me started
People don't
moving.
have an experience. Yes, exactly. They haven't experienced another type of mentality, another type of climate. Therefore, maybe they seem to think it's pretty normal to live like this. But whoever has the means and are able to actually travel, that place has so many things to offer when it comes to archaeology and colonial settings and the parks, what have you. I mean, you live there. You
Yeah,
must know.
I know. I've never regretted moving here. And I can plant anything I want. I plant trees all the time. I have 83 acres here, and I capture rainwater, and I live on solar power. It's a fantasy. I also have a lot more freedom here because I can build composting toilets. If I want a building, I can just build it. I can use adobe. Earth, the dirt here is very good for building.
Yeah, exactly. The sky's the limit when it comes to doing sustainable lumber. Like in my case where I live, there's not many trees actually, so I think we
Wow.
would go by building a different way, different
Yeah,
model.
where I live, it's all forest. So I've got oak
Yeah.
trees, pine trees. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'm overlooking Lake Pottsquirrel. Across the lake is Pottsquirrel. And so there are more foreigners there. But even there, they're not so overwhelming. It's not
Yeah, yeah,
Gringolandia. But there
yeah.
are
It's
people
like a
that,
mix, a kind of balance. Yeah, yeah. Very
yeah,
good.
it's more balanced. So I
Yeah,
love that you're going to bring more people in to expose them to Mexico. Also, Mexico has this really deep, rich culture. Recently, things like the movie Coco has introduced more people to Day of the Dead, which is a
yeah, yeah.
big deal around here. I'm thrilled about that. So for you, this the renting of the houses is a transitional way to slowly build this community of longer term
Exactly.
people.
As soon as we finish, I guess we can come up with a contract of 5 years. After
Hmm.
that, I don't want to become the eco village like a welfare state where we just give out money from the rentals. It's just basically to finance it. Once we're finished with that, then we actually transfer the ownership to me because I like to actually from there that money I like to build other projects. That money becomes mine, but to
Hmm.
build other projects locally or internationally because I like to actually do activism work and I like to finance projects elsewhere. You know,
Right.
that's
Well,
my
in the
mentality.
beginning, people can just come and they can enjoy Mexico and see if they like it, which would be my recommendation anyway. And then you
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah,
figure that out as you go along to figure out what kind of systems work for you to make something more stable.
yeah, yeah. Perfect. Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, so basically, my project, I'll be calling it CPR project.
Hmm.
CPR project, as the name implies, and it tells like reviving, for instance, a person. But in my case, we're going to try to revive the local economy, basically, and
Right.
revive like people's spirits, bring happiness. Because I think the number one thing for eco villages to remain is just basically building recreation for people. Lots of recreation,
Hmm.
and our priority should be the community. Building
Yeah.
recreation for the community, basically. Yeah.
Rebuild rural areas. That makes sense
Oh
to
yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's going to be really great watching your progress. I wish you luck. I know it's tough. I've
It
been doing this
is.
a
It
while,
is.
and it's hard to communicate the vision really well. So I know you have a lot of work to do in defining what you want and finding the right people.
Basically, I'm trying to get co-creators on board
Hmm.
because it's hard for one person, and I like to implement a module where we are uncentralized, where we make a decision making without having somebody to lead us. Basically. That's my number one goal, to become self-reliant and to make use of the properties there for the cooperative and to build up jobs for locals, basically. Yeah, pretty
Fantastic.
much.
Well, I'm sure we'll be talking more in the future. It's really
Yeah,
a nice
yeah,
thing to chat with you.
yeah. Same. Likewise here.
All
Likewise
right.
here.
Nos
I'm open
vemos.
also for proposals for on your end, because we can actually cooperate with each other. I'm open to cooperate, help you, and
Yep.
the capacity I can, and yeah,
I've got lots of experience, and I try and document a lot of it online. So I have videos about composting toilets. I write on Quora. I'll put some links to your project and to my project in the description for this video as well, so people can find out more.
yeah, perfect, perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Nos
It's
vemos.
nice talking to you, man.
All right.
Anything, just stay in touch, and perhaps we'll do more videos like this in the future.
Excelente.